Hello everyone, this is Nimozum along with Rajdeep and Rajat. Today we are going to have a presentation on the history of Vancouver. So, in this presentation, we are going to talk about how Vancouver was formed and how it was during the World War II and how it is now. So, we are going to look into the past and how it was during the World War II and the present time of Vancouver. So, let's look into the formation of Vancouver, like how Vancouver was discovered, who, when, and how it was discovered. So, who? So basically, the indigenous people, including Squamish, Musqueam, and tsleil have been living in that area for thousands of years. So basically, it was the indigenous people who was living in that place. So next one is Jose Maria. He was the first European to explore the area in 1791, but Captain George Vancouver was the British explorer who visited and mapped the city, after whom the city was named. So when the region that would become Vancouver was the first explored by European navigators in late 18th century, and the first European to explore the area was the Spanish captain Jose Maria in 1791, followed by British naval captain George Vancouver in 1792. However, it wasn't until almost a century later, in 1862, that the area began to be settled by Europeans. The city itself takes its name from Captain George Vancouver, and the name Vancouver originates from the Dutch town of Coevorden, from which the Vancouver name hails. In Dutch, Van Coevorden means from Coevorden, a town known historically as a cow crossing or a place where cows were fed across a river. So the discovery and naming of Vancouver are tied to the exploration of late 18th century, but the city growth and development as a settlement occurred much later, with the significant acceleration from the completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway in late 1880s, but Vancouver was incorporated as a city in 1886. And how? So the discovery of Vancouver was a gradual process, beginning with uh, Captain Jose in 1791, exploration of Pacific Northwest, and Captain George Vancouver then explored the area in 1792, mapping the Burat Inlet and establishing contacts with indigenous people. So the city was named after Vancouver and incorporated in 1886 following the completion of Canadian Pacific Railway. So the Vancouver was formed as a result of, I mean, like discovered as a result of European exploration and mapping in the late 18th century. So okay, let me tell. So it's a story time. So let me tell you the formation of Vancouver as a story. So I'm gonna tell you how Vancouver was discovered and in the form of a story. So once upon a time, in the vast expanse of of Pacific Northwest, there lay a land of immense natural beauty, untouched by the modern world. This land, rich with dense forests, abundant river, and a majestic coastline, who knew that one day this place would be known as Vancouver? So, our story begins in the distant past, long before the city's busy streets and tall buildings. For thousands of years, the Squamish, Musqueams, and tsleil people had coexisted peacefully with the land. Their history was deeply interconnected with the soil. As the age of exploration was drawn, European adventurers set sail across the uncharted waters of globe. It was it was during this era of discovery that the British Royal Navy officer named George Vancouver embarked on a monumental expedition. In the year 1792, Captain Vancouver navigated the dangerous strait and inlet of Pacific coast aboard his ship. With the wind at his back and star as his guide, he charted the incredible coastline, settling eyes on the land that bore his name for the first time. The captain and his crew marveled at the lush landscapes and the rich tapestry of life that flourished there. They encountered they encountered the indigenous people whose knowledge of the land was unparalleled and from whom they learned much. Years passed and the tales of this verdant paradise spread far and wide. Traders, settlers, and dreamers alike were drawn to the promise of a new beginning. The once quiet coves and dangerous bays saw the rise of commerce and community as the echo of ancient tradition mingles with the sound of progress. Consequently, the city of Vancouver arose from the courageous exploration of a brave explorer and the resilient spirit of the First Nation people. It is a pearl of the Pacific, a crossroad of civilization, and a reminder of timeless appeal of discovery. So here's a short story of how the Vancouver came into existence. So moving on with the early developments and incorporations. The Hudson Bay Company established a trading post in 1827, facilitating fur trade between Europeans and indigenous people. Vancouver was officially incorporated in 1886, allowing for structured governance and developments. The Canadian Pacific Railway in 1887 connected the city to the rest of Canada, facilitating population growth and economic developments. This event contributed to Vancouver's transformation from a remote outpost to a bustling city, playing a vital role in its history and development. Going on with economic growth and urbanization, the late 19th and 20th century saw significant economic growth and urbanization in Vancouver. Key industries included lumber, fishing, mining, and ports. Lumber was a foundational industry due to abundant forests of Pacific Northwest. Fishing attracted European settlers and immigrants, while mining boomed due to valuable minerals in British Columbia. Vancouver's port as the western terminus of Canadian Pacific Railway facilitated international trade and influx of goods, contributing to its urbanization and future as a vibrant city.
Hello everyone, my name is Ravsar Singh and today I'm going to cover the further part which my teammates left. So first of all let I do a screen share. So there you go. Here we are going to discuss the role of Vancouver in World War II. As we know, World War II played a crucial role for whole the world, but let's see what it effect on on Vancouver. So Vancouver played a significant role in World War II. The city's shipyards were vital in producing warships and merchant vessels for the Allied forces. Vancouver also served as a key training process deployment center for the Canadian troops. The war effect significantly boosted Vancouver's economy and industrial capacity. Here are the effects. So, as we know, as the effect, the war effect significantly boosted Vancouver's economy and industrial capacity. The city's population boomed as people migrated there for work. wartime jobs. This population growth led to post-war housing uh, boom and the expansion of suburban areas. Moving forward, the post-war recovery and development. As you know, after the World War, it's really difficult for to recover from the war, but Vancouver tackled it really well, and it did major developments, which is really which is now we can see is really beneficial for the country and the Vancouver citizens. So, after World War II, Vancouver continued to experience growth and modernization. The city embarked on major infrastructure projects, including the development of highways and bridges. Vancouver also expanded its public services amenities to accommodate its growing population. So it's the some and there are some steps which take for the better lifestyle and the good welfare of the public. And now we can see it's really good and they are going to really work. Moving forward, let's focus on the development. And one of the major development is Expo 86. As we know, Expo 86, the World's Fair celebrating Vancouver's 100th birthday, and it showed innovation and drew millions of visitors. Left a lasting legacy with the SkyTrain and Falls Creek redevelopment. So it's for the major use, it helped a lot for the transit and those people who just came to Canada to Vancouver from different states or provinces to Vancouver. It had because and the starting no one has the car who recently shifted to Canada. So because of the Vancouver Expo line system or SkyTrain system, it helped a lot. So moving forward, the major development of two 2010 Winter Olympics. As we know, Winter Olympics are really important for the whole over the world as Vancouver organized which is really beneficial. As we know, and Vancouver has to repay the debt for more than a decade, but it helped in many ways. As we know, Vancouver place on the global stage led to infrastructure upgrades like the Canada Line and sports facilities, boosted the tourism and international investment. As we know, nowadays mostly international investment are the international students, which bring a lot of money to Vancouver and all over the Canada. So because of that, Vancouver is came into existence, and now Vancouver is one of the major expensive city all over the Canada. Moving forward, let's talk about the major. Just a moment. Moving forward, let's talk about the major crisis, which is housing crisis. Nowadays, finding a home you can afford in Vancouver had become really tough. There are more people who want to live there then there are places to live. And some people with a lot of money from other countries are buying up properties. This has made houses prices skyrocket, forcing some people out onto the streets and making it harder for everyone. As for the according to my research, Vancouver is really developing, but the inflation is really high, which we can see in the housing effects as well as groceries. Plus, the taxes in Canada is really increasing, so it's really kind of difficult to do a budget for every individual. So moving forward, after its major crisis arrived after the COVID coronavirus, and moving forward. So let's discuss the current situation. Not the current situation, let's discuss the situation which because of the coronavirus. As we know, the COVID-19 in Vancouver is limited testing, primarily recommended for those at high risk, several illness who requires hospitalizations, vaccination. Vaccination is the most important thing for to tackle the COVID-19, and which BC really did well. British Columbia is currently offering additional COVID-19 vaccine doses to maintain protection against a serious illness. So, for them, the most important thing is to help people to recover from the illness of the COVID-19 and be stay protected. So, moving forward, the impact of COVID-19. As we know, the impact of COVID-19 has lead every has affect every country, every city of the whole over the world. But if we discuss about only on Vancouver, the impact of COVID-19 on Vancouver. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a late significant impact on Vancouver, affecting public health, the economy, and social life. Measures to control the spread of the virus, such as restrictions on gathering and business closure, have had a negative impact on the city's economy. The pandemic has also also led to increased social isolation and medical problems. So because of the COVID-19, it affect whole over the world same like this. But according to stats, Vancouver is really doing really well because of the BC government and the Canadian government. And as for the stats, on the 2024, Vancouver will recover most of the inflation will going to slow down as well as the housing rate. I'm not sure about that, but it will be also affected. So that's all from the my part. Now my teammate will gonna discuss the further part. Thank you so much. Let us do let's stop the screen share first. Thank you so much. That's from the my part.
So, hello everyone, my name is Rajat and rest of the presentation I'm going to take. So, I'm going to explain the growth and the development of the Vancouver over the period of the time. And Vancouver like had a huge development during the period of 1886 to 1940. And during this period, Vancouver evolved into a bustling trade and transportation hub driven by key economic activities and marked by notable events. So first of all, I would like to talk about the economic drives. Like the Vancouver had two main things. Like first one is the lumber industry, and the second one is the port activities. So like the abundance of forest in the British Columbia made the lumber industry a milestone of Vancouver's economy. Logging became a major economic activity, providing jobs and fostering the related industries such as farming and the woodworking. So and the second one is the port activities. Vancouver's strategic coastal location made it an ideal port city. The port facilitated the export of the natural resources, including the lumber and the import of the goods from around the world. And the development of the port facilities enhanced Vancouver's role in the international trade. Uh, so there are also other things like Great Vancouver Fire. It also contributed a lot in the Vancouver development. Like it happened on the June 13, 1886, and it was like a devastating fire swept through out the Vancouver and destroying much of the newly incorporated cities. Despite this destruction, the fire became a catalyst for rapid rebuilding and the modernization. And it also uh, there are many other things happen like the just wait a second. uh, there was also an like establishment of the Stanley Park, like it was in the 1888. So the city established the Stanley Park, a 1,000 acre public park that remains one of the Vancouver's most cherished green spaces. Stanley Park provided a natural retreat for the resident and the visitor, contributing to the city's quality of life and the attractiveness. And like another is the growth. Like I would like to focus now on the growth as a trade and the transportation hub. So uh, like this city port port activities expanded with the increasing trade and the volumes and the development of the shipping and the infrastructure. And now, like it is the post-war expansion from 1940 to 1980. Like the first thing happened after that is the population growth. After World War II, like immigration boosted a lot, and the population of the Vancouver's growth took a growth a lot and took a growth a lot. This influx of the immigrants helped Vancouver grow rapidly, and this city population expanded and leading to the more diverse communities and it is the richer cultural landscape. And the second thing happen is the urban development. So urban in the urban and expansion of the surround building of major infrastructure like the Loans Gate Bridge, uh, and the second narrow bridge. So like Loan Gate Bridge, it built in the 1938. Even though it was completed just before this period, the Loans Gate Bridge played a crucial role in the connecting Vancouver to the North Shore and making it easier for the people to commute and for the goods to be transported. And the second thing is the Narrows Bridge that built in the 1960. So this is also known as the Iron Workers Memorial Second Narrow Crossing. Was it further improved connection between the Vancouver and the surrounding areas, facilitating the growth and the development of the Vancouver. And it there was also a thing happened that is the economic diversification, rise of rise of manufacturing hub and the tech industries. So during this period, the Vancouver economic diversified manufacturing became a significant part of the economy and providing jobs and supporting the city's growth. And the tech industries, in addition to the manufacturing, that technology sector began to be emerge, and Vancouver started to develop the tech industry, laying the groundwork for the city's future as a tech hub. And uh, so these technical also helped to grow the Vancouver a lot. Uh, so that's now like it's the modern era from 1980 to present. Uh, like in 1986, Vancouver hosted an expo, which was called like Expo 86, a world fair that had long lasting impact on the city. Expo 86 brought international attention to the Vancouver and led to significant urban revitalization, and it helped modernize the city infrastructure and showcased the Vancouver to the world, attracting tourists and the investors. So, the city experienced a lot of growth due to this expo. And after that, there was a economic shift, like the tech boom, film and the TV production hub. TV production hub like Vancouver was also becoming a major center for the film and the TV shows production. Like people were people means like directors and the movie producers come here to shoot their films and their TV shows. So this was also had to grow the city, and there was also many significant developments like the development of Yale Town, Falls Creek. So the development of the Yale Town and the Falls Creek are also two areas that's a significant redevelopment. Yale Town transformed from an industrial district into a trendy neighborhood with the modern condos, restaurants, and the shops. And the Falls Creek was revitalized with the new housing, parks, recreation facilities, making it vibrant to the part of like cities. And there was also many things like the sky train systems and the transit also helped to grow this city, because it making it convenient for the people to go from the place A to B. So it's also helped to grow. Uh, it also contributed a lot to in the growth of this uh, growth of the Vancouver city. So there was also a major event, like it was in the 2010, Vancouver also hosted the Winter Olympics. Like Vancouver hosted the Winter Olympics, an event that had a profound impact on the city. The Olympics brought the global attention and boosted tourism and led to the development of new sports facilities and mm, so like it also attracted the tourists and the investors because they could see the beauty of the Vancouver city during this Olympic. So uh, like uh, like present condition and the contemporary issue, like the economy of the economic status like of the Vancouver is the good, and like it is the one of the Canada's most prosperous cities, and the population of the Vancouver is uh, over more than it's around like 7 lakhs, somewhere around 7 lakhs, and uh, so like and the 2.5 people like living in the Metro Vancouver, and there are also some challenges like that people are facing in the Vancouver, like uh, homelessness and the traffic congestion. Like homelessness is the another issue that is like many people struggle to find stable and affordable housing, which leads to an increase in homelessness. And the city has various programs to help the homeless, but the problem continues needs and ongoing attention. And like government should take steps to solve this problem. And housing affordability crisis also a like big problem. Like the rent of the houses is increasing day by day. So like this is also a problem where the government should take some necessary steps to overcome this problem. And the traffic congestion, like I would like to say that traffic congestion is not a like it's a problem, but like many cities around the world facing this problem. So like if the government takes some useful steps, then it can be solved. Like it's not that much uh, problem. So yeah, so thank you so much for the attention and to listening this presentation. So that's all from my side and from my friend's side. So thank you so much. Here are some references. Mm, thank you so much.